News coming your way. It is a weekly news roundup every Sunday afternoon. My name is SANDRAH Kahunde, welcoming you for this particular newscast. And we're coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. Thank you so much for choosing the national broadcaster to be part of your lovely Sunday. Now, straight into the activities you could have missed out. We'll look at the Fountain of Honor who did host, that is the President of the Republic of Togo, His Excellency the President did host him, and we're getting to see some of the activities they did have as far as negotiations to build this country is concerned. And the President of the Republic of Togo, that is Esozima Gansimbe, for this week was in Uganda for an official visit at Entebbe International Airport. Gansimbe was welcomed by the Minister for Security, General Jim Muhwezi. Others to welcome him were the Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Basumbadi, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Christopher Damlira, and the Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Samuel Akena. The President then proceeded to State House Entebbe, where he was welcomed by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The two presidents held a tete meeting where they discussed, among other things, the security situation in West Africa. President Museveni and his visiting counterpart later briefed the delegations, where they both highlighted the need for the two countries to come together and share experiences if they are to overcome challenges faced by not only Uganda and Togo, but all African countries. The Tongolese President, His Excellency Gansimbe, on his part, he thanked President Museveni for always being available to share his experiences in as far as security and governance is concerned. Now, a sad one coming through. Presidential Advisor on Media Affairs, John Nagenda, died on Saturday at the age of 84. Nagenda has been one of the longest-serving presidential advisors on media and public relations, a job he did very well. He was outstanding. That is a prolific columnist with the New Vision newspaper. During the Bush War of 1981-86, he was a collaborator of the National Resistance Movement, army based in London. It was Nagenda who mooted the idea of taking then Prince Ronald Muwenda Mutebi to the war front in Luwero to cement the Buganda's support for NRA struggle. In a daring mission, Prince Mutebi, who flew with Nagenda from London through Nairobi to Kigali, was driven to the Uganda-Rwanda border, from where he traveled by road to Kabale. In Kabale, rebel commander Yoweri Museveni himself received them and took them to Luwero, where Prince Mutebi spent 2 weeks meeting the fighters and ordinary people. Until his death, Nagenda was only the second surviving Ugandan to have represented East Africa at the 1974 Cricket World Cup in England. After he resigned from his cricket involvement, Nagenda started writing fiction and columns. According to a statement by the Minister for Presidency, Millie Babalanda, Nagenda passed away this Saturday afternoon, 4th of March, at Medipol International Hospital, Kololo, where he had been hospitalized for weeks. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and he will be remembered greatly for being patriotic and, of course, good to know. all that he did for us as far as journalism is concerned. When it comes to his writing, we shall definitely remember all that. Now, in other details, the Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Dr. Mary Goreti Kitutu, this week apologized and also regretted over involving herself in iron sheets, which were meant to be distributed to the people of Karamoja. While appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs, Minister Kitutu handed over her apology to the committee and also promised to forward her apology to the appointing authority. The Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Dr. Mary Goreti Kitutu, has again appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs and apologized over the manner in which she involved herself in food and iron sheet distribution meant for Karamoja people and the alleged supply of sick goats. Minister Kitutu admitted having given herself the iron sheets and also shared with some of her colleagues.
Honorable colleague, on Wednesday, I think I said there was a component where I donated.
Yes.
And this is what I came to explain.
Yes, but now you have tendered an apology of mismanagement, which is so holistic. But what is embedded in it now is not a holistic reflection. We are now directing you. Honourable Minister, we are directing you to take the oath before we proceed. Please, kindly.
I, Kitutu Mary Goreti Kimono.
She apologized for misappropriating relief items meant for the vulnerable people of Karamoja.
So can we hold you responsible?
I have to be truthful that I was not given guidance. If I had guidance like I have now, Honorable colleague,
you should have sought for it. Ignorance is not a defense at this point. You are a senior person. Are you owning the apology as a lead person for the whole mismanagement of the iron seats meant for Karamoja sub-region?
I'm owning it as the minister responsible.
On Wednesday this week, Minister Kitutu had appeared before the same committee to explain how the food that was meant to be given to the people of Karamoja ended up in other districts like Wakiso. Kitutu told the committee that Cabinet sat and resolved that some relief items also be given to the needy and vulnerable people in other districts across the country. She emphasized that she's going to notify the President and other ministers about her actions and also forward her apology. Meanwhile, State Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Agnes Nanduto, told the committee that she received a call from Minister Kitutu informing her about the iron sheets consignment that had been sent to her.
What exactly did she tell you?
She told me you have landslide victims in Bududa who need to be helped, whose houses had been swept away by landslides, just like another region in Bududa, so in the Bukis region. So if you take these iron seats, they'll help you mobilize the people for other government programs, because this is government. The stores people will release the iron sheets. So I wasn't given any document to collect.
So the store people would just offer
it was the
instructions
PA.
of a phone.
It was a PA who was in charge.
It should be noted that Parliament passed a supplementary budget of 135 billion shillings to buy relief items, including food and iron sheets for the needy and vulnerable people from Karamoja region. Susan Naung and Gloria Guitabinji reporting for UBC TV. In other activities of the week, Parliament this week donated radio transmission equipment worth 2.5 billion Uganda shillings to Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among Annette, says the donation is part of the Parliament of Uganda's corporate social responsibility, while handing the keys to the equipment to the UBC Managing Director, Awinton Agaba David. Speaker Among challenged the national broadcaster to set the pace for the other players to follow.
It is a donation free of charge, with no expectations in return, except for quality and educative programming.
So that you're able to have a better output, better product in the market. I mean, we're in a business world. I have always told you that if you don't do something that is correct, we will not give you business, much as you're a government entity. We will not give you business. What we want is a business relationship where we have better products.
These were some of the words of the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among-Anet, as she engaged management of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. The meeting was meant to witness the handover of multi-billion shillings radio broadcasting equipment to UBC.
We are giving 2 transmitters, a standby generator that can run the whole of UBC, a UPS, an automatic voltage regulator, band pass filter, a changeover switch, equipment rack, antenna system, and a feeder cable.
Parliament had over the years taken a decision to open and operate media outlets as a means of boosting coverage of its house business. However, due to delays in acquiring a radio frequency, the Parliamentary Commission took a decision to donate the state-of-the-art transmission equipment to UBC.
Broadcasting and media issues are not a core function of the Parliament as an institution, and therefore took a decision to donate this equipment to Uganda Broadcasting Corporation because it's partly a government entity mandated to broadcast news.
Speaker Among challenged the media to embrace evidence-based reporting.
This era of rumor mongering, left, right, center, has ended. We need, if you're reporting that this has taken place, there must be evidence. And that's why when we agreed that we should hand over this to you, we needed evidence that yes, there was a handover.
On his part, UBC Managing Director Winston Agawa David pledged more local content as opposed to reliance on foreign programming.
And we can only vouch that we shall do our best, working together with your office to make sure that all the proceedings that take place in Parliament and out of Parliament shall come to the fore for the Ugandans to appreciate the role that legislators play and the role that we as a country have to propagate. We do not wait to consume foreign media. Let's create our own content and tell our own stories.
UBC Radio is almost 70 years old, having been established in 1953, a period that has come with a challenge of obsolete broadcasting equipment. The boast in the new equipment from Parliament is just timely, according to UBC management. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Yet again, the state activities coming your way. President Yoweri Museveni this week mourned the passing away of Mzee Aramanzan Ruboha, who contributed greatly in the liberation struggle in the 1980s. The president's condolence message was delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabanjo, at the burial of Ruboha, who died at the age of 104 in Tiraba Cell, Kagadi Town Council, that is in Kagadi District.
President Yoweri Museveni has mourned the passing away of Mzee Aramanzan Ruboha. Premier Nabanja, who read the president's message, said that the late contributed much to the victory of the ruling government, thus worthy to celebrate his contributions.
Aba historicals baitu, aba contact group mbihulire, echinja kusobora kukora ekiriyo mani gangi, abo kuba mukimanyire ninye nkulira Prime Minister's office. Kandi mu office ya Prime Minister ali mu ministry ya Bwero Bwenzori ekwatagana nabano aba veterans nja kuba connecting na minister wa Veterans Affairs akwapulire mu veteran babiri abo tukusaba bakora turaba mu ministry banu abandi nja kulenga okurorangu ni bakwanaganya no mukyala Alice Kaboyo akuba ekyo kiri mu within my means baitu ekindi president yangambire mbatekanize kurungi abayitirane abana ba hanu abamugezi Nyamurangwa ababyekwaso omwabyekwaso omuka mukwata hamukono ogwo mutagamba akagenda ministry ya lands by mistake ninye nakozera akatiki
In a letter read by Sewante Francis, in 1980s, their father provided shelter, food and other basic needs to the NRA fighters and the president himself with an aim of achieving victory in leadership.
Omwaka gwa 1998 buyatandikire kalitango yokurwanisa enfuga embi rundo obulemi obubi obwabangamba nyenka omugurusi Ruboha akabomu abasaije nkwatanga abo abatatinire government yali eroho ya UBC yeteraniza na president kandi hanu gali maka ga president niho yayekumikaga hano omurusozo Ruboha na muhemere na mwitire mbuzi kandi nagaruka narinda abasaije abarwana ubumezi.
Judith Nabakoba, the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, also joined the rest to mourn for the death of the great man who contributed much to the victory of NRM.
Omulwanyi nsasira abenju eno era nensasira n'abantu ab'ekitundu tufiiriddwa omuntu abadde omumanyi omuntu mwena gwe mbadde mwebuuzaako naye Mungu bw'atyo bwe yasazeewo. Nja kubasaba mumusabire mumuteeke mu ssaala tukimanye nti atusooseyo naye ffenna yekkubo tujja kumujjukirako olw'ebirungi yakolera eggwanga lyaffe n'ekitundu kino. Bigambo byange si bingi bampadde muzindalo kuyita mama.
Political leaders, relatives, business fraternity and others described Ruboha as a person who was committed, disciplined, hardworking and loving President Museveni. The president contributed 20 million shillings as condolence to the bereaved family. The late Ruboha spent over 20 years battling with respiratory complications and succumbed to heart failure last evening.
You're still watching the weekly news roundup. Now, 99% of the candidates who sat for the 2022 Uganda Certificate of Education examinations passed with 67,815, acquiring the minimum principal level required for university admission. While releasing the results in Kampala, a State Minister for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Muyengo, urged students to get interested in what is offered in technical and vocational centers plus nursing training institutions.
The 2022 Senior 6 examination results have been released. The results indicate that 99.2% of the candidates passed the 2022 Uganda Advanced Certificate examination, with 70.3% attaining 2 principal level required for university admission.
In terms of numbers, this is slightly less than that of 2020, which was 68,013. But this is also consistent with the fact that we had a slight drop in candidature. In the cases where tertiary institutions are considering 1 principal and 2 subsidiary passes for admission, we have 89.3% of the candidates who will qualify. And this is quite comparable to the percentage of 2020.
At principal pass level, there are improvements in history, economics, entrepreneurship education, geography and art. Mathematics and chemistry recorded significant improvements, while physics had a drop, and its entries have not shown a consistent trend. Performance of biology has again dropped below 2020 level, where it had risen.
The constant problem of biology. While the National Curriculum Development Center looks at the curriculum, I wish to encourage teachers to look into those areas that have been mentioned even before today. Could it be that there's deficiencies in the teachers themselves? Could the problem be with the teachers? Could it be the food they eat? I ask that the SESEMAT in-service training for biology teachers should focus on addressing this matter.
The results also indicate that female candidates performed better than their male counterparts in arts, mathematics and physics, while male candidates were better in agriculture, chemistry, biology, art and general paper.
We have continued to record 0 scores in many papers. One of these candidates decided just to copy out questions several times, while another one wrote somewhere on page 2, I think, of the paper which I saw, "Dear Mr. Examiner, you are still wasting time on me when there are more serious candidates?" Question mark.
The chairperson, UNEB, Mary Okwakol, expressed a concern of fewer girls offering science combinations, emphasizing the need for a national strategy to empower girls pursue sciences at advanced certificate of education level.
Directed that the Ministry of Education and Sports should lead in a study along with UNEB to investigate the reasons for this. The investigation has not yet been done due to funding constraints. The observed gender gaps result in low numbers of women pursuing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics careers.
Uganda National Examinations Board has withheld examination results for 113 candidates for involving in examination malpractice, mainly external assistance in mathematics, biology, and computer studies. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa in Kampala.
The Kampala flyover project is at 80% completion level. This flyover project comes with a widening of roads, a flyover bridge to be used by pedestrians, and improvements on the road junctions are almost complete.
The Kampala flyover project kicked off in 2019 with intentions of eliminating congestion and the heavy traffic flow within the city areas. The road is expected to connect Chibuye and Nsambya-Gaba Road and then heads down to Chibuli towards Mukwano Road. This project, UNRA spokesperson Alan Sempebwa says the project had been planned to end last year.
You may recall the COVID-19 pandemic that came with major travel restrictions, affected our work, the airports were closed, so we had a bit of delays in the implementation of the program.
To date, the Kampala flyover project is at its finishing stages, with less than 20% to be fully opened for public use.
We're at about 80% progress of works, and we know that very, very soon this year, this project shall be completed. So we're as good as actually almost complete, I should say. You may have seen lately when we had the diversions around this area to enable the contractor finish the works around the project. We've had to open up some sections along the flyover. And the feedback we've actually had was overwhelmingly positive. Road users can't wait for us to fully open up.
This high-capacity project comes with widened roads, flyovers, improvement on the city road junctions, and a pedestrian bridge to ease movements.
So by alleviating that traffic flow, what does it mean? That we shall have faster travel times, we shall have reduced delays in movement, connectivity constraints shall be reduced or cut completely. So all that jam that you currently see in that area shall be significantly reduced.
However, the city centre has had its challenges on the drainage part that has been a hindrance to traffic.
However, we still sound a warning and caution to road users and those working within the area not to litter anyhow, not to litter, to be responsible at management of waste. Because even when you build a drainage, or like the ones we've actually built, as large as a football pitch, if we don't actually check our behavior of waste disposal, these drainages will be clogged.
City dwellers caution UNRA on the frequency of accidents on a highway and urge authorities to provide security to the pedestrian traffic side to facilitate safe movements.
Because crossing, you don't actually have to cross the road. You will now be using the bridges to cross onto the other side of the road. So we know that pedestrians will be safe.
Kampala flyover project is being built at a whopping 300 billion shillings and aims at mitigating traffic congestions in the city. Lydia Chomkama, Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
Now on to health. This Sunday, Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union this week received a medical consignment worth £1 billion shillings from Direct Relief California and are to be distributed to different medical centers across the country. The General Secretary, Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union, Charisima Justin, appealed to government to increase the budget for them to have protective gears to save lives.
Have tried to send us a direct relief in order to help us in case we get those situations. And here, as our president of Uganda Nurses and Midwives have said, we have received a number of items. For example, this is a stethoscope, whereby it is used in taking observations in case you have a patient with such a condition. Then you have got the blood pressure machine, also is used in taking observation, vitals, because we nurses we emphasize taking observations in case you have a patient in front of you. We are requesting all of you outside there that once we bring these things on your health centers and hospitals, kindly do accountability, because our problem is one. Sometimes these things are taken to your clinics. Kindly we request you that you register all of them, especially our leaders down there. We know we have structures. Let us work together to make sure that all the equipments that we are bringing to your health centers, please record them.
And this supplement is good to boost what government have done. However, we call upon government also to make sure that they have enough budget for these protective gears.
Now, in other news, the Lango Culture Institution says it is supporting all fronts of new legislations intended to prevent immorality such as homosexuality. The paramount chief of the Lango, Dr. Michael Dong, has raised this during a culture event attended by hundreds of subjects in Lero City.
The Lango Culture Institution is asking lawmakers and the government to hasten the process of the new Anti-Homosexuality Bill 2023 with speed. The paramount chief of the Lango, Dr. Michael Dong, says that this will be a deterrent against the ongoing immoral rampage in some sections of students in Uganda's schools associated with the vice.
Wek penua ri mor ke ken pasukan bulu melao pewe ko bol tamu kreciente tarua ko waiting chira buralu balo ko dano perwa te kwarwa dan pelu bere poi medini te kwarnao Pepinu jolong atuke ken nyeyung atuke ken ame binu ke tam right chaloman.
He acknowledged partnership between Lango Culture Institution and government on massive tree planting in Lango sub-region.
Joro tera papa tatinu kuongi atinu kuoni kuna po wigini teacher tech potie memed dolero igol dushu metakwarwa. Kama neta chono we teacher poli wimeya Chalo pitu yen, sako, gonyo penchik, dwoke leblanc, ke tu janchi nyo bylaws. Punya papa rekom wealth creation nyo nyayo lonyo. Magu bishutia kuru unjua wantino kuonjin.
Over 150 culture officials drawn from different clans of Lango, including ministers, were asked to promote the greening of the sub-region.
As Lango Cultural Institution, we are having a program to green Lango. And that is why we have requested the government through Ministry of Water and Environment. They have sent us to National Forest Authority and they have given us 1 million seedlings so that it is planted all over Langon. That is still for the beginning. And we shall proceed from there and we shall go ahead. We shall plant a lot of trees. So we are encouraging people to come and get these trees, go and plant them. If actual trees are planted, because people have cut trees because of charcoal.
Parliament recently awakened the conversation on anti-lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, intersex, asexual and mob bill, which seeks to prohibit same-sex relations in Uganda, expected to draw punitive measures from the bill of 2014. Sudat Kaye and Vincent Wamundu, UBC News.
Now getting to environmental updates coming through, a sad one. A total number of 14 pupils of Buwanda Primary School in Buwanda Village, Masafo Town Council in Busia District have been admitted at Masafo District Hospital following a heavy downpour and rainstorm that blew off their classrooms, causing several injuries. Now, according to Ajambo John, the school head teacher, a rain started at 3:30 p.m. during the lessons.
And we are also sure that those ones who are in the hospital will be okay because they are in the hands of the medical personnel.
He has soft tissue injury according to the way the timber hit him. And the pain, the complaint he has is only backache and anxiety. That we are still reassuring him and the parents.
Very sad for the young students. The school administrators of St. Lawrence Academy schools and colleges have attributed the good performance in the 2022 USC to God, dedication, hard work and discipline by stakeholders at all levels. London College got 98% of students excelling in science subjects. At the Academy of St. Lawrence Bodo, boys surpassed girls. Horizon Campus, all the girls are qualified to join high institutes of learning after obtaining the required points, while at Citizen High School of Creamland Campus, the girls had competed boys in arts subjects.
It was all jubilation at the London College of St. Lawrence Schools in Wakiso District upon proclamation of the 2020 Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education examination results by the Uganda National Examinations Board. A-level students of London College scored highly, especially in the science subjects in the recent 2022 USCE exam results. Roland Mauda is among the science students who scored 20 points in biology, chemistry and mathematics, followed by Alfred Mujoni with 19 points in physics, chemistry and mathematics. The headmistress, London College of St. Lawrence, Habiba Nabuma, attributes the excellence to God, hard work and school administrators with professional ethics.
So good. We have the best of our candidates scoring 20 points. He has one A1 who was doing BCM and sub computer. So we have a number of candidates, so many of them between 15 and 20. He's followed by, rather than having 19 doing history, economics and literature and sub math, he has 19 points. Then followed by another doing BCM, having 18 points.
At the Academy of St. Lawrence Bodo, all the students who sat for 2022 USCE examinations qualify for higher institutions of learning. The head teacher Academy of St. Lawrence, Buddo Mastula Birungi, says the girl child dominated the science subjects compared to the male students.
We managed to score 18 points for our best student. We are so happy in the combination HEG, ICT. Thank the Almighty God, because all my students have got the 2 required principal passes that can help them to join university. And we are glad, we appreciate all the parents who have entrusted us with their children. We thank the rector who has provided for us everything that we needed to see that these kids succeed.
Horizon Campus of St. Lawrence Director of Studies Rebecca Naku says students passed at 96%, and she attributes the success to God and discipline among students, parents and school management.
We are so much grateful to God for the results of UACE. All our candidates passed. We had 55 students. Our best has 16 points, and then 7 with 14 points. All our candidates managed to get at least a principal pass. They can qualify to any university.
Relatedly, at St. Lawrence Citizen High School Creamland campus, the mother campus, girl students outshined boys in art subjects. The school head teacher Pauline Nalvega says dedication and good morals among students resulted into good performance respectively.
So when we happen to look at this time, that was 2022, depending to what we had gotten when it comes to the COVID-19 that had come up, honestly our students performed very well, because every student managed to get points that can actually push them to different education institutions.
Principal St. Lawrence Academy, Schools and Colleges Justin Tulina applauds students, teachers and parents for 2022 Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education results. Mary Namkose, Robert Boita, UBC News.
Good to know you're still a part of this newscast. When I return during a business updates, we shall be taking you to Hoima and find out the achievements as regards to ECOP, and also where Ivan will still be profiling the fraud, corruption and forgery that surrounds the Asian custodian properties that is in Ginger City. Do stay with us.
Set to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN mobile money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Hey!
Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. Just need to buy some power.
paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
Weekly News Roundup, live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue, straight into our business. Our students from the districts where the East African crude oil pipeline is to pass are to be equipped with vocational and technical education skills. The Deputy Managing Director, East African Crude Oil Pipeline, John Bosco Habamujisha, says their aim is to improve the livelihoods of families of affected persons.
The East African Crude Oil Pipeline program is to be implemented in 2 phases under the Livelihood Restoration Program for the project affected persons.
Now, this is part of the Livelihood Restoration programs that we are implementing, and today the focus is on equipping young members of the eligible project affected households with skills.
The Deputy Managing Director, EACOP, John Bosco Habomugisha, revealed that they are going to support students of affected families with scholastic materials and a startup pack after the training.
This project, through our contractors, we shall have to support you through the institution in terms of tuition, scholastic materials, and at the end, we are required to support you with a starter pack. If you are to succeed with the skills, you need some tools.
John Bosco has further asked the beneficiaries to start small-scale business and grow them.
But the most important thing you can do to this country is to start something small-scale and grow it. And some of these things, they sound very difficult to you as young people, until you realize that every big organization you see started small.
The training is sponsored by EACOP and implemented by Montrose in 4 training institutions of St. Peter's Technical Institute in Mubende District, Mami's Beauty and Commercial Studies in Masaka District, St. Simon Peter Vocation Training Institute in Hoima District, and St. Charles Lwanga Vocational Institute in Butende, Masaka.
That through St. Simon Peter's, they will get a new skill and they'll be able to return back to their households at the end and support them with income generation and be able to start their careers in their chosen skill. And that's a really important opportunity that they have been given through the EACOP program.
Some of the beneficiaries we have talked to have thanked EACOP for the opportunity.
I will make a workshop there at home at our village. I start working, then I train others. After being trained here at St. Simon Vocational Training Center.
The short-term vocational courses will be given to 2 youth in each eligible household affected by the project in fashion and design, catering, motor vehicle and motorcycle mechanics, hairdressing, tailoring and garment cutting, welding, plumbing, electrical installation, building and construction studies, video and photography, among others.
Still keeping it business, we continue to profile the fraud, corruption and forgery surrounding the Asian custodian properties in Jinja City. We now profile Plot 20, where an occupant was evicted by an unknown company, Trans-Africa, against court orders. The key figures implicated in the unclear interest in these properties. More in this report.
A number of properties in Jinja have an inscription written on "Plot not for sale," a clear indication of a serious demand for these buildings in the area. This building on Plot 20 Iganga Road, along Stanley Road, is where Wanume Patrick David stays. We found him pinning the plot number on the wall after court ordered for his stay on this property, which has contention. Wanume Patrick was born here in 1974 and grew up at this place. They were renting this property and remitting fees to Waibale and company advocates.
Najita nti yiye era bananyiniyo ye ba Trans-Africa mu bigambo nga tewali documenti tewali ki.
He then started remitting rent fees to Trans-Africa Commerce Limited, but concurrently went to the custodian board and was told the property belongs to government.
Plot 911, Plot 20. Who owns those properties?
Plot 20, which is
the one of that gentleman, the one Wanume.
This is a custodian board property.
He was advised to apply for allocation, which he did.
N'applyinga mu 2018 ne bagimpa mu 2019. Allocation bangamba kakati tandika okusasula naffe ne tandika okusasula mu Bank of Uganda. Sente milioni 1.5 buli mwezi.
Trans-Africa returned claiming ownership after their lawyer Muziransa passed on. He was then given a notice to vacate the building.
Basoka kumpa baluwa engoba ate ne badduka mu custodian board. Ne bagenda okusaba ki? Deposit certificate. Basobola okugoba ekyapa.
He was later evicted without a court order and ran to seek intervention in the courts of law.
The tenants are not protected. There is no actually the tenant of custodian board who is protected. You find a court case is running and no member of custodian board is coming to defend the tenant.
Because he has not sued me, the real owner, it becomes hard for me also to come and just jump in the queue of rent. Me, what I do, I support with documents to show proof that this is not the rightful what. That's how custodian board comes. You can't say it just leaves tenants to be mistreated. Police yali ekwataganye nabo bakwatagana ne DPC bamuyitanga Tabongo David yavaawo era kye kyamugobesa ekyo yakwatagana n'abantu abo ababbi ne baleeta private security nga gye bakozesa nga bali mabega wa DPC oyo yagitegeera bagita tight security nga gye bakozesa era kooti ye yabajjawo wano.
We went to Tight Security Company for a comment over the matter. We spoke to 2 people who informed us that the in-charge was not available.
So I am seeking to have a comment from you people regarding that specific allegation. Please, manager is not around. Now, when do I get the manager?
Tried calling the number, but to no avail. But we confirmed that the company exists and has an office in Jinja. Court at this point had ruled that Wanume reoccupies his house that had been demolished. He fixed the windows, but not so long. He was attacked by unknown people.
Ne bakomawo ekiro ne bajja ne bakanyama kataba tutte ne baddamu ne basuula ebintu wabweru ebintu babisoma mu bikuubo eyo
Absolutely, he only has the other side where he did install in new windows, and that's where the family is, that's where they are sleeping. So all this place is not being used for any kind of productive work because the buildings were really shattered.
Omulamuzi n'abateeka ku contempt of court. Era emisango gikyali mu kooti.
This is the gentleman's property that was demolished. This is how serious the thing was. This is the plot. This is serious. Wanume wants government to stand firm on the matter because they know the people behind the illegal possession of these properties.
Abantu abanene be bakwatagana nabo mwebali. Naye nga bw'omanyi nti okuindikatinga erinnya ly'omuntu ajja kuwaabira. Naye nga mwebali tubalaba be bakwatagana nabo. Naye for security purposes sisobola kubuulira mannya.
He is worried of his life as he stays here.
Era bajja ne bansumbuwa. Waliwo omwami bamuyita Muyanda, Jonathan Muyanda. Ekirala balina emmundu ze bakozesa eza private eza security. Akati ebintu bwe bibeera bwe bityo nga temuli madinisa kyangu nnyo omuntu okuyita omwo najja nakukuba essasi n'atambula n'agenda.
Now, Mr. Manager, do you care about the people who have so far been evicted illegally in Jinja? What do you have to say?
It is so sad, but we've tried our best as a custodian board to use the method of security where the chairman is the RCC, to have these people get justice. That whenever you go to his office, it's just politicking. But the truth is, the custodian board of the Ministry of Finance, it's as if it's defunct. However, as security, we shall keep helping our people where necessary.
So when I run away from my people, then I will be more stupid, and I will be stupid to follow stupid people. So that is the problem I have in Jinja. Very bright people coming now to tell me on what to do.
Who are the people behind these illegal deals? Who is frustrating court proceedings? Who is buying off contested properties? Who is issuing fake land titles? We shall address these in part 5 of the Custodian Bullies.
Sent to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN mobile money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Good to know you're still keeping this the national broadcaster, and more updates on the international scene as far as weekly news roundup is concerned this Sunday. Now, taking you to the disgraced ex-lawyer, that is Alex Maddow, has been sentenced to life in prison for murdering his wife and son in a case that shook the U.S. The hearing in South Carolina came one day after a jury took less than 3 hours to convict the 54-year-old. Maddow's wife, Maggie, 52, and son, Paul, 22, were shot at a close range on their family estate on 7th June 2021. Prosecutors argued he killed his wife and son to divert attention from his financial crimes and gain sympathy. Judge Clifton Newman called the case one of the most troubling he had seen and noted Maddow's past as a well-known member of the legal community. Alex Maddow headed a legal dynasty that for decades had occupied a powerful place. The jurisdiction was described by some as Maddow country. Judge Newman said he understood the decision by the state not to seek the death penalty, but noted that Maddow's own family had had people executed for less. During the trial, investigators revealed how Maddow stole nearly $9 million from clients to fund an addiction to painkillers and a lavish lifestyle. At Friday's sentencing, Mado spoke briefly twice to maintain his innocence. His lawyers said they would appeal against the life terms within 10 days.
But I'm innocent. I would never.
Still speaking international, getting you to Russia, where Bakhmut has lost 95% of its pre-war population. Since the start of the Russian invasion, Russian and Ukrainian forces are fighting in the streets of Bakhmut. But Russia does not control the eastern city, its deputy mayor has said. Oleksandr Macheko also told the BBC the remaining 4,000 civilians are living in shelters without access to gas, electricity or water. Mr. Macheko said not a single building had remained untouched and that the city is almost destroyed. Bakhmut has seen months of fighting as Russia tries to take charge. Taking the city would be a rare battlefield success in recent months for Russia. But despite that, the city's strategic value has been questioned. Thousands of Russian troops have died trying to take Bakhmut, which had a pre-war population of around 75,000. Ukrainian commanders estimate that Russia has lost 7 times as many soldiers as they have. On Saturday, UK military intelligence said Russian advances in the northern suburbs had left the Ukrainian health sections vulnerable to Russian attacks on 3 sides. Mr. Macheko accused the Russians of having no goal to serve the city and that it wanted to commit genocide of the Ukrainian people.
Small-scale thing.
With international updates coming your way, it's a wrap for us for this particular newscast. Thank you so much for making time to get to know what is happening in and around the entire world. My name is SANDRAH Kahunde. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. I bring you greetings from the team behind the scene, and right here on ground, we've been led by Javi Manadeo. Well, enjoy your day and have a fruitful week ahead. God bless you.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Sent to a sport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN mobile money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been